Let's get started with our first news. Alex Pereira sends a message to Magomed Ankalaev. Alex Pereira sent a strong message to Magomed Ankalaev. As you know, Ankalaev ended Pereira's reign as the UFC's light heavyweight champion, just as many fans and analysts had predicted. Before we dive deeper, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. Now, even though Ankalaev defeated Pereira, Poatan made it clear that he's faced much tougher opponents before. For months leading up to their bout at UFC 313, fans and fighters alike debated that the Dagestani fighter's style would be Pereira's biggest weakness. The main argument? Pereira had never faced someone with a truly well-rounded game like Ankalaev, a fighter who could wrestle, strike, and control the pace. And yes, at UFC 313, Ankalaev did win the title by unanimous decision. But while speaking to the CMO recently, Pereira didn't hold back. Through his translator, Pleno Cruz, Pereira said, "I've definitely fought tougher opponents." He explained that the situation and the circumstances on that day, UFC 313, made Ankalaev a hard opponent, but not the toughest he's ever faced. And honestly, that shouldn't come as a big surprise. It's not like Ankalaev dominated Pereira from start to finish. The fight was competitive. Ankalaev controlled a lot of the action in the later rounds using his clinch and grappling, but he didn't inflict serious damage. There were no knockdowns, no submission attempts that nearly ended the fight, just a control-based strategy. As of right now, there's still no official word from the UFC on a rematch, but since Pereira defended the title 3 times before losing it, many expect a rematch will eventually be made. Of course, there are rumors of tension between Pereira and the UFC regarding when the fight should happen. In the same interview, Pereira hinted at what's next. He said, "We're in talks with the UFC. We're gearing up. Let's see, maybe something around October." Recently, a video went viral showing Pereira weighing in at over 240 pounds, sparking speculation that he might be preparing for a move to the heavyweight division. But Pereira shut those rumors down in a chat with MMA Fighting. He made it clear his focus right now is on Ankalaev. He wants that rematch. He wants his belt back. And after that, we'll see what happens. For now, Pereira says, "Let those guys fight each other in that weight class. I'm just focusing on light heavyweight." Do you think Pereira can defeat Ankalaev in a rematch and reclaim the light heavyweight title? Moving on to the second big story, Ilia Topuria wants Paddy Pimpblelet after Charles Oliveira. There's no doubt that this potential matchup between Topuria and Pimpblelet has fans buzzing with excitement. However, a lot still needs to fall into place before it becomes a reality. As Topuria prepares for his highly anticipated fight against Charles Oliveira at UFC 317, he's made it clear he's not done with Paddy Pimpblelet just yet. This isn't some new rivalry either. Topuria and Pimpblelet have had beef for years now. Their feud has been ongoing both online and in interviews, with constant trash talk and insults thrown back and forth. At one point, a physical altercation even broke out between the two during a UFC event, adding more fuel to the fire. Still, the odds of them ever meeting in the cage once felt slim. Topuria was climbing the ranks in the featherweight division and eventually took over at 145, while Pimpblelet was gaining traction in the lightweight division. Different divisions, different paths, but everything has changed. Topuria is now fighting for the vacant lightweight title, a massive leap that puts him in a position to become champion in a second weight class. Meanwhile, Pimpblelet has continued to build momentum at lightweight and is starting to get closer to serious title contention. The timing now feels perfect for this long-awaited matchup to finally happen. In a recent interview ahead of UFC 317, Topuria was asked who he wants to fight next if he gets past Oliveira. Without hesitation, he responded, "I don't know. Hopefully Paddy. Hopefully he gets one more fight. He wins that fight, of course. And finally, we can be in the same octagon together. It's just a matter of time. I think it's going to happen." For this fight to be made, several things must happen. First, Topuria has to get through Oliveira, a legend and a dangerous opponent. Second, Pimpblelet needs to notch another impressive win to push himself into the title mix. If both men lose their next fights, the UFC could still make the fight, but it won't carry the same hype unless a title is involved. What do you think? Could we see Topuria and Pimpblelet finally settle their score inside the octagon? And could it be with the lightweight title on the line? Let's move on to another headline. Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane. Next, it looks like the UFC is finally setting up a massive heavyweight showdown between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane, and it could very well be for the interim or undisputed heavyweight title. This potential clash has been a hot topic for months, and now things are starting to fall into place. Just yesterday, the UFC officially announced that Nasruddin Imavov will face Caio Borralho in the main event of UFC Paris. Why is that important? Because for a long time it was rumored that Ciryl Gane, who hails from France, would headline the Paris card. With Imavov now taking that main event spot, it suggests that the UFC might be saving Gane for a bigger fight, one with higher stakes, most likely against Tom Aspinall, possibly in October. This wouldn't just be a regular heavyweight fight, this would be a clash between two of the most technically gifted heavyweights the UFC has ever seen. Aspinall brings incredible speed, footwork, and submission skills, while Gane offers elite striking, movement, and composure. Both men are known for their fight IQ and precision, a rare mix in the heavyweight division, which traditionally features slower, power-focused brawlers. Fans have been calling for this fight for a while. Aspenl has looked dominant ever since returning from injury, and Gane has remained at the top of the division despite his setbacks. A matchup between these two could determine the true #1 contender, or even crown a new champion if Jon Jones is stripped or delayed again due to his legal or health issues. What makes this matchup even more exciting is the contrast in their styles. Aspinall tends to finish fights early with quick transitions and explosive offense. Gane, on the other hand, is a more measured striker who breaks opponents down methodically. It's a classic case of explosiveness versus control, and the stakes couldn't be higher. With the Paris card shaping up and Gane not featured, all signs point toward a huge announcement soon. So what do you think? Are you excited to see Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane in what could be the most skillful heavyweight title fight in UFC history? And now, onto some serious news. Jon Jones' alleged phone call footage released. The Albuquerque Police Department has released body cam footage involving Jon Jones, tied to a report about a strange and disturbing phone call. The footage quickly made headlines as it shows Jones clearly intoxicated, rambling incoherently, and making unsettling statements that many interpret as threats. Most shockingly, he appeared to suggest he could employ lethal force through third parties, a chilling implication that's hard to ignore. In the footage, officers try to piece together what happened. When asked if he was driving, Jones responds bizarrely, saying, "My brothers attacked the dreams and sisters and cell phones." His speech is erratic, and he doesn't appear to be in control of his thoughts. Someone in the background is heard saying, "They're the most evil people you'll ever meet." That's Jon Jones. According to officers on the scene, the passenger identified Jones by name and confirmed he was under the influence. One officer remarks, "I think the driver of the vehicle that fled is Jon Jones, the fighter." Another voice says, "I just got thrown over the phone," adding more confusion to an already chaotic situation. The MMA community responded quickly. Matt Brown urged fans to stop talking about Jones's legacy and instead focus on his health. "Forget his fight career, just get help and get better," he said. Luke Thomas noted, "I've seen Jones's run-ins with law enforcement going back more than a decade." Sean Strickland, as usual, responded with sarcasm, saying, "I guess I could tweet about MMA or something," downplaying the seriousness of the incident while referencing the week's chaos. Some fans were far more direct. One wrote, "Sentence him to death by Aspinall. He's trashed again." Another said, "This is why he didn't fight Tom Aspinall. He can't stop drinking and doing drugs. He hides behind religion to dodge responsibility. The guy clearly has demons." Others called for jail time, while a few jokingly suggested throwing him into the octagon as punishment. Many pointed out this situation shows why the UFC has been so hesitant to schedule his return. The legal issues, erratic behavior, and ongoing controversies make him a liability. And that lawyer statement from earlier this year, it's not holding up well. So what do you think? Is it time for the UFC to move on, or does Jones deserve another chance? Let us know in the comments.